Oh, yeah, it can cause different things. But David. Mm, mm. Hello. Let's see. Okay. Mm, mm. Where's the cool with that? something. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Mm-hmm. So, put this over here. Fish, fish. Wasn't gonna tie, but I thought this was on my mind like too much. Just a random thought in my mind, like tie this thing, which I don't tie these up anything like this often anymore. Like this is just out of my mind with some influences. So there's your fishtail. And I happen to have this thread that's kind of meant for this. So and we don't have that, so we're gonna do that on the side. See, I want to tie this because it's in my mind. It's just in my mind bothering me. That's what it was. This is just it being in my mind bothering me. So I don't really know what it's gonna look like, what it's gonna come to, but it's bothering me. Yeah, that part's bothering me for whatever reason. I don't know why. This is like bothering me. And I want to use this on it instead because it's just like a lot heavier thing that I'm making. So, old school, heavier. Just, let's see what comes out of this. Let's see how this turns out. Gotta make sure I make the body, yaddy, 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 yaddy. The body, yaddy. Looking. Suspicious. Okay. Yep. Silver. Silver wrap. No. Ooh, white. Decorate. Right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Tail. We're just having fun with this, so we don't know what it's gonna come out to really look like officially. And this is like there's just something fun to play around with. I kind of want to change that because I don't like that little piece of the hook sticking out. Happy Friday, everybody. Just time this random thing. I was like thinking of something in my mind. And I was like, I don't know how this is gonna come out at all. I really don't. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I'll find out though. comes out or not. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How about that? No, that would turn out. That's what we'll do. Okay. Yeah. Hmm. And that's a lot of work. Yeah, well, never know. Never know. Never know. Not quite like get just right. Using this other thread that I just don't really. So I'm not sure what this is gonna look like. Done. Oh, what that hook looks. It's just a mess. Looking at it like, yeah, it looks like a mess right there. Oh, Look at that mess. Happy Friday. Anyone watching in the chat? I'm just tying whatever. Just tying for yeah, this stuff. I've been using this, and I still, I had discussions about this particular brand or whatever it is of this type of UV years ago, and I'm still kind of like, yeah, I agree with certain things. What I saw when I first saw it, I agree with certain things the way it reacts to certain stuff. And even when you try to put light on it, and then I think if you put a stronger view, it works better because it's really gonna. And it depends if you're doing the thin or the soft the soft cement or the thick one. It matters, but I didn't like there's certain things like I tried knots. I already knew this knots weren't gonna be trying to make a knot with it is gonna have a weird thing. But not saying it's bad. It's just I wouldn't. I don't like making a tag a knot on a nymph or something dropper on this one with this one, like because it has comes in 3. You can get it in 3. You can get all of the. I don't like it. I watched it break off. When I pull it break off right. The knots stay, but it breaks off right at the thing. So you have to be really. So if you weaken it, not any way that or stretch the monofilament, if you're using monofilament, it can it's almost like it affects that because when you put this light on it, and then the glue's supposed to secure it, but what I found is it didn't really. It had an issue. It just was weird. But there's other brands and different things, and they might be different than the one I got. That might be like the old formula. Who knows? Or could it? Who knows? From where I ordered it from. So who knows? But I didn't like that part about it. I was like, something. And then this is what I want to do. I want that to be under. So that's going to be like its tail. Yeah, this is like my own little weird streamer. I wasn't going to use rabbit hair, but I decided to. Because I wanted to. Right. Tail. Simple concept that I hope will look Cool. Like a little black, green, and blue tail. It's covered up by mostly by the rabbit, but it might come out okay. It might come out looking kind of neat. And I have the copper under there. Was gonna do dubbing. I changed my mind. I think it would be cool. But that's where the copper is. Like the wire I ran there is giving me trouble. Trying to. You gotta kind of. There it goes. Let's see. There it is. Cause I'm pulling on this so firmly, like it's. That's another thing. It'll straighten itself out sometimes if you pull on it a certain way. I think that's gonna be it. Yep. Yeah. We're gonna do it right there. Yeah, I do weird things with my hand. Kind of keep that part there. Might as well do this now. So this is like, yeah. First time anybody watching, if you see me tie anything in before, you never see me tie a big streamer. A big streamer before, so I'm tying like a big streamer. But I'm just doing whatever I feel like with it. Oh. So I want that to stay there. pulling the aluminum on the copper. That's part of it too. It's pulling on the copper. Cause I made it a little uneven when I put the copper on. But once I get it tight, but I get tight enough, not as much of a problem. So there's that. Get out of here. Here's. I wanted it to look like. So I'm trying to do it like a bait fish. So look at it. There's its tail. You know, blue streaks, black, green, white. Because sometimes there's sheen of white on the side, and then I'm gonna add in the other stuff here. Yeah. So swim, and it's swimming in like 3 different ways, but that's a little stiffer there for the tail. Stiffer there for the tail. So, but it's like gonna be kind of. Honestly, I think if I took that right there, just this right here, and then tied it down, that will catch a fish. This just what it is right there with that little green, that black tag tail. That's enough. And there's a weight in here and enough weight to kind of. Let's see. Oh yeah. I need to fix that. I didn't get that to stick in there. Because I'm using a hook it's not really designed for. This hook is not designed for. It's not really made for tying flies. But it will handle saltwater. Sup, Rude? Yeah, it's not meant to handle saltwater, but I had got these like not that long ago. I just got them with some other stuff I got, and so I was like, well, I can tie those because I only need a couple hook. I only needed a couple hooks out for like spoons and stuff, and I had already purchased another pack for earlier, so in the year, so right when the year started, so I'm like, I don't really need. Yeah, it'll be fine as long as I pay attention to that part. Yeah, where's my? Oh. So, you know why I'm crimping it. Any salmon fisherman knows why I'm crimping this down a little bit. Because you know why it's meant to be crimped. I'm just trying to get it to sit right like I want it to. There we go. But yeah. But this is like, easily handle a lingcod. Easily. Or rockfish or any kind of saltwater fish if it grabs it. Like certain saltwater fish will not be able to. Toothy ones may. Okay, yeah, there we go. It'll tear it apart, but yeah. So like, just that alone is already a lure. You could take that, tie a line to it, and then you have like another type of lure right there. You can hook a line to that. you could hook a line to this, then make another one just like it, and hook another, and make some kind of crazy thing if you wanted to. But the white is like, that's the white of the bellies of the fish, and then there's the tail of it. So that alone is like a bait. It's like a almost like a leech pattern or anything else, but it's more stiff back here because I used this part of the marabou. So that's kind of cool to kind of play around with. So I was like, I want that to be like a fin, like that's the tail fin. Yeah. Then this is where the streamer part comes in. So we're not using like normal, we're not using like marabou or anything. We're gonna use all bucktail and this stuff. To blend it to get the right. Like colors. Trying to figure out how I want it to get. Okay. Yeah. It'll be fun. It's just a big streamer, basically. That is kind of cool. Let's see how this looks here. I'm trying to get these off. That's the thing. Like, I've had these ones for a little bit, and I have to check them. Let me get a bag of those. You can get this stuff pretty good, pretty easily, but sometimes. So I want that to sit like that on the top. That is like it's a herring or something else. That's the dark part. And we're gonna do green. We're gonna try to blend it and make it work, but let's see if we can do it or not. See if it'll actually come out like I want it to. Oh, this stuff is like super stiff. It's actually kind of cool to work with, and I've tied it into jigs before, and it works. Like I've caught panfish with it, so like it's just stiffer material, but when you make it longer, it kind of sways in the water a little bit, but it's still kind of stiff. But mix it like green, and there's like blue. You can like, and just those two together that's a bait fish of some kind. That's a bait fish of some kind, like from certain waters, just green and blue. You just have to layer this part, right? So that's what I'm trying to do here. Figure out how I want to layer this green. So almost could put it back there, but I think I'm gonna put it like. How long is a bait fish really? So we're gonna do. Where's the other? Yeah, we're gonna attempt this green. We're gonna attempt it and see if we can get it to look like sort of what I'm thinking in my mind. And I've already got the pretty bulky head on that fly, so I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna look like I want to. I'm not sure. Green. Let's see here. That's what we're gonna try to do. Green, like around it. I haven't had a big streamer in long, 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 long. But it'll be fun tonight to tie one. I didn't get everything what I wanted to get done. Still might try to get what I need to get done. Anyways, I didn't get to go to what I needed to do. It's okay if it fell down a little bit. That's what happens when you tie a big streamer. But you can manipulate that. That's one side green. It's kind of blended in there. Green. On the other side. Maybe I should have put more green. More green. Yeah, I haven't tied like a big streamer. I don't know. There's no need. I don't need it. The only big fish I think is gonna grab this is gonna be a muskie, rockfish, or a lingcod. The only two things out around here that's gonna grab that. Or a bass. A really big bass. A really big bass. But I want that to lay over the top of that. Trying to get it even. Spray it out even so I can blend it. But yeah, I don't think anything. Yeah, looks still good though. looks fishy. It's a fishy. Catch it. Yeah, but this stuff is kind of. It's mermaid's hair. Basically, I think that's basically what some people would call it. That's what I think that would be the other name for it. Like it's mermaid's hair. That's what other people would call it. Some folks would call it mermaid's hair. But I think it's called fizzy hair. This color green makes really good this stuff makes really good trolling flies, actually. If you want to make a really easy trolling fly, this stuff is like pretty. When it's sparse like that, you don't really see what it can do, but we're trying to get the green to like. That's how it is. That looks good on that side, but don't look good on the other side. So it's gonna have a pretty big. Like, where did it go? Like, and there's gonna be the rabbit hair underneath. That one, this side looks really good. Blended pretty good. I want it to look. Oh, we can use these. Back to school. Back to school. It's like, right? School scissors, safety scissors. It's really good. On top. Yeah, I'm doing this not quite like I wanted to, but pretty close. I think it'll look pretty good. It's kind of like I'm just stacking the. Just kind of, it's almost like I'm just stacking the hair on top of each other. That's pretty much what I'm doing. To make a back, like a fish, the fish's back. And leaving the little one. Yeah, this is gonna be, it's gonna be a really big looking goofy fly. To me, it's like it's gonna be like a big old crazy looking thing. But I don't know. We'll see what happens when I'm done. Yeah. Oh, hey, James. Yeah, it's gonna be like bulky. This is gonna be like a really bulky looking fly. And then there's the blue to go inside the. And then there's the tail. And trim it a little bit, but I want to kind of leave it kind of long, sort of. I want the little blue in there. It's gonna be interesting because I haven't tied anything like this in a while, so it's fun to see. And everybody's gonna tie this stuff different, so it's gonna be fun to see. So like I tied it in so soft, it could come out like I could ruin it easily. Like that part can fall out. I'm just all I'm doing is just kind of stacking it, and it's not really not totally how I want it to do. Normally, I would just pinch all of it and put it in there. And like I want to kind of like blue and everything. And I'm using this other thread too on this I use certain like jigs this thread, but it's like I've been just kind of playing around with this thread. It's like a thicker thread, so for like big stuff like this, it's like it makes it really easy. Actually, makes it easier, kind of. But it's still kind of. I'm trying to be like, be careful, be careful as you wrap that down on there. Hey man, I'm all right. I'm all right. I said, well, I'm gonna try my hand at a saltwater streamer for once in a long time. It's been a long time. I've tied these before too. Tied them. A lot of times though, I tie smaller. They're smaller. If that makes any sense. Like, so the fish here, like I'm trying to catch cutthroats in the salt or salmon. It would be smaller. Something similar, but maybe smaller. But this is like out of my mind. Like it's like, hey, make it something. I'll make something. I'll make something. I was like, that probably look cool. Fish probably like that. I was like, it'll probably look good. What's going on here? Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's like the same concept, but it's a little something. There's a different thing to it. When you make like this like I think it's a 4 hook, but it's a little bit longer shank, and then it's got a wider gap on it. And then if you put it in salt, it's not gonna rust as easy. You can fish it for quite a while before it rusts. This type of hook that I got here, and it's the same hook I put on my salmon ones because I always fish it in like brackish water too, and in the salt. So it's like I was like, I've tied flies on them before too. I was like, yeah, just tie a fly on it, like big streamers, like rockfish streamers and stuff on it. And I couldn't find get the size. I'm sure I could have ordered it or something, but I just happened to see it when I got those spoons. Actually, when I got the spoon, I was like, I'm gonna get 2 spoons. I have other spoons, but I want the one with the color thing on it. I want this color that's on it. And I was like, oh, they got those too. And I was like, I can put those on my spoons for my salmon. And I'm sure I'm gonna need those in a couple months. And it was just kind of like, well, you're gonna have to pay for those. Like, those hooks cost almost as much as the spoon. That's just how that goes, because they're sharpened, everything super sharp, everything for you. But I was like, I was like, I'll get them because like, I was like, you know what? And I was like, what am I doing? I was like, wait a minute, what's the price? I was like, the price is probably like, oh, if I go somewhere else, I bet you it's more expensive. If I go like to that town and I'm just happen to be over here, there's one of those type of things where like, I'm over here, and I was like, I bet you it's gonna be more expensive. So I just said, I'm gonna get those hooks because I can use them for multiple things. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a streamer. So that's what I was saying. Like, you can move there's Jamie. Jamie, if you're still in here, you know what I'm talking about. You can kind of like, you can move. Once you get it kind of down, but it's not totally officially where you want it, you can move it. The hair, and it kind of, now it's kind of like more blended in. You can't see it too good, but it's got green and blue, and the green's on the top. Try not to put too much. Yeah. So I didn't tie it down too tight. But there's the rabbit hairs underneath. Blue, top, green, middle. Pheasant. And then that's basically a streamer right there. Oh, well, I thought about doing this too. But that would be too much, I think. See, that totally like changes it into something else. Really is probably maybe like this. Accent it with that on the side, each side or something. On the bucktail. So I had bucktail. You guys have never seen me tie a bucktail or anything. I mean, keeping it a secret. Nobody's in it. Can't tie a bucktail. But I'm like, will it hold? Let's see. But yeah. But I would want to put it like that. Like adjacent. I want to put it adjacent to this other thing. And then I'm gonna trim all that a little bit. That's what I was like, this is gonna be like a lot of material. Like a lot of material. In my opinion, it's like a lot of material. See, that's the thing. Like it can slip when I pull that because I've stacked so much. I was like, yeah, I'm not a total professional, but not a professional. I've caught a lot of stuff. A lot of different stuff. I was like, well, I haven't tied one of those in a while. That'll be fun. And I'm tying with the thread that I don't use. That's the thing too. See, like it slipped. I'm tying with a thread that I don't use either. But I've just started using it to try it out. And it's kind of okay. Well, I think I'm done with that part anyway. My mother. I'm done with that part. I'm gonna put the accent thing. Oh, these are not the ones for that though. Oh, they fell on the floor. They hit the floor. Hit the floor. Oh, it moved. I saw it move a little bit. It'll probably come out. All the fish are trying to do is eat this thing, right? Put this over here. This is my saver. Gotta save this part because I can make something else with it. But yeah, I use this stuff. Like I make like almost like a herring. You know, like the herring. Like this thing. It's like the herring crystal flash. It's like that purple. It's like trying to imitate that purple green by blending those two together. And then if I could, I'd put more green on the top. But the green on the top I want to put the pheasant part on the top. That's what I want to put on the top. Just to see like if it'll work. But happy Friday again. Happy Friday again, y'all. Hope you're enjoying your Friday. I kind of did, caught some trout. Sorta. But to me, this is just a trout. This is like a trout fly on steroids to me. I think that's what I think. It's a trout fly on steroids. It's a trout streamer on steroids is meant to catch something that eats trout. That's what you're basically craving. Something that it would eat. You're bringing a fly that catches something that eats a trout or eats a smallmouth bass or largemouth bass. That's what you're craving. Come on. It's acting up here. Still no, it's pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna be able to squeeze that in there. I think it's best to leave it. But yeah. Try to be like super soft with it because it wants to roll that side. Just like I left it really soft so I can move it. That accent looks really good. Would look really good on there. It's not quite the same over here. If I did that with that little bucktail on there, something to mess with later. I'm using this hook that I don't, it's not that kind of hook for it. See that? Not too bad. I'm just kind of like rolling the hair underneath the thread. That's basically what I'm doing, just rolling the hair underneath the whatever it is underneath the thread, so it'll kind of blend like I want it to. And it's somewhat, it's not as same as it is on the other side, but kind of looks better there on that side. But that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just kind of working that to like blend a little bit. It's pretty good on this side. This side's a little more green. It's got a little more green side on it. If I can get the blue, this blue to match up with this green, we're in business. Yeah, I haven't done one like this in a while, but this is like, to me, is like a cool way to do it, an easy way to do it, easier way to do it for me. Come on. A little bit better. Over. Not too bad. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna be able to, because it's pressing on the eye of the hook. So it's like you're not doing that. Keep trying it. See what happens. Even though I like it's snug, but this is like a thicker thread. So that's 6. And then this one is different. It's like a lot. This is like, I don't know if it'll focus. Yeah, 210. So it's a little thicker. It's like but it's like silky silk, but it's like thicker. Still makes a good jig or whatever. Just, it seems like it takes less wrap, but when you take less, it seems like when you take less wraps to make it, you gotta make it count when you wrap the whatever you're making. That's what it seems like. And I want to just go like that. Green. See? Let's glue it down so we don't have this problem anymore. Glue it down and keep trimming at it so we don't have this problem anymore. I'm not sure about this glue. I'm still. It looks cool to look at it to me, like you see the UV light on it, but I think it's just the brand that this one is. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just like, well, maybe to me, if I try another brand, and I'm pretty sure another brand is gonna be different. Another brand is gonna be different. And this is supposed to be their thinner, but you gotta think, how's the light get in there and glue it down? Light's probably gotta be pretty powerful to get in there to glue this in. But yeah, this has got rabbit in it, and it's got the fizz hair. Wasn't able to get the bucktail in there. I could tell. I was just like, nope, bucktail's not gonna go in there. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna feel comfortable with it to complete the thing I'm trying to complete. And I think this light is more powerful. But says 20 seconds. What do they say? 20 seconds. I did a fly this morning. I did two. Yeah, I did two, and then one that like took a lot of patience to make because there's a lot of things involved. And then I was like, yeah, this is not. It is, but it isn't. I don't know. It is, but it isn't. It's just learning more about how it cures and stuff. Like I almost want to just like touch, put it there. But it says 20 seconds. Yeah. So I'm like, I think it takes more than 20 seconds. I feel like it takes more than 20 seconds to. And as you're moving it, I don't want to rotate it because I just want it to hold those there. So that's part of it too. I'm like, I don't know. Something seemed to work really good on the like smaller stuff. Easy, like, made the smaller flies really like this is like oh this is like breeze. But some stuff like I don't know. So maybe a different brand of it might be different. It might cure. It's probably going to cure faster or less fast, or that might be the thing with it. That might be the thing with that stuff. Go put this stuff back in here. Yeah, but that stuff makes good tube flies too. It doesn't move around as good as a marabou or anything like that, but it doesn't move around as good as marabou or rabbit hair. But it kind of has its. If it's long enough, it kind of has a thing to it, and it can be like trolled behind a boat or wherever. Shank it looks like right there. You almost want to leave it. Like it almost looks pretty good like that. But big enough fish, it won't matter. That's gonna get engulfed, even though this is trailing back here like that. Let's see. It won't matter. But I just saw the other day I was using that little bait. If you were watching me, the fish was just couldn't get quite a good view of it, but the fish was just dragging the little thing I tied around. And then when I switched over to a different, I switched over to the spoon, and it was like, oh, Castmaster spoon. It was like, okay. And then the fish was like, oh, we're just getting hooked now. Yeah, I think that looks alright. I don't know. I think it should be shorter, like right there, like 2 inch, 2 inch. I think it should be shorter, but I think it looks pretty good. You know, as it is, just like that. And then what I'm gonna do is lay those on top as the back. But I'm trying to like. I kind of want it to be smaller. Remember, there's a pair of barber clippers in my posts. Don't forget that, y'all. Can't quite get this to work right. Yes, they went like 3 or 4 of these little hairs went right there. They're like, nope. There we go. I don't think the fish are gonna care. If I even fish it, I don't have a fly rod big enough, heavy enough to fish this close, but not. It's not, and I know it's not gonna handle salt very good. Probably could catch something, rockfish and stuff with it, but it's probably not gonna. My fly rod is like universal. Like, yeah, it's mostly trout and bass getting caught on that. We're just clipping here. So I'm actually trying to like clip it so it's uneven. That's what I'm trying to do. I don't want it even on this one because this hair is so stiff. I don't want it even. I want it uneven. So trying to clip it uneven. So I'm clipping into it. Just like if I was cutting someone's hair. Trying to style here. Some like this, but some like that. Oh, it's getting dull. As I said, these ones are getting. It cuts good this way. Not the other way. Okay, I almost got it. Almost. There. Looks better. That's pretty good. All right. I think that's as short as I want. Probably look really good. Well, I don't know about patience, man. Just hey, if you cut your own hair and you almost put a bald spot in your hair. I did that before. I'm like a section, like a little spot. And I was like, oh, and then I started being able to cut my own hair. Like after that, and I kind of started understanding. And then someone else was a barber, and that helped. You know, I was like, they're like, don't do that. Like, oh, okay. They're like, go ahead, see if you can do it. I was like, okay. And then next thing you know, I was cutting my own. I was like, nobody touched my hair. No one touched my hair ever. And it's like, and then people were like, who did your hair? I was like, me. Don't. They're like, well, I'll cut it. I was like, no, don't touch it. You're gonna do something. I figured out what I want, how I wanted it, you know. And I was like, I'm only cutting it this way. I only cut my hair this way. Let me know. I figured out what works. Everybody seems to like it. You're the one person who said that because there was another barber. It was another person who was a real barber. You know, I was like, no. You're gonna do something. They're like, no, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, buddy. I don't think I believe you. I've only had a couple of barbers ever touch my hair. Ever. Not a big deal. It was just like I was like, I can do it myself. But now I just cut it. I just shave it or something half the time. I just like shave it or like let me just get it shaved and then shave my hair now, but it's got to be a certain level. You know, I'm like that, and then I can line it, and I'm like, that's good. That's good enough. And I'm like, that's good enough for me. So we're gonna try to road ease. Soft wrap. One's trying to jump out. Don't really want to do that. Okay, I'm done with it. Pretty much done with it now. That one can kind of go there. Let's see. This thing look good on one side, but you want it to look good all around sometimes, even sort of. That's that uniformity thing with some of the tying stuff. I'm like, I'm just taking my time with it. Just let it kind of looks almost like I would want it. So I got some over there on the side. Doesn't have too much on this side though. This side's been giving me trouble for whatever reason. I just want them to sit there like I want them to. Kind of. Sort of. sure it doesn't matter. I'm sure, you know, when you look at a fish, sometimes they had two more speckles on one side than the other. Oh, that's what's going on. I see what's going on. It's all right. Please don't fall apart. See, I'm the same way. I'm like, please don't fall apart, fly. People be thinking, hey man, that look easy. And you're like, no. Sometimes it's just not. Don't want to cooperate. But sometimes it's like, oh, see, that seemed like everything. It just went where you wanted it to. Because what I wanted to add, instead of not just putting this, I wanted to put something else. But I guess I kind of getting the same effect though. I'm getting kind of the same effect though. What I kind of wanted. Let's see if I can. Kind of. Yeah. If you look at it, get it to focus. All you saw was blur, but now you can kind of. And see that one tried to stick out a little bit. But it'll probably fix itself. But that's what I was saying. See, on that side, it's a little bit different. But it's green, white, like that would be the belly, white belly of the fish, of a fish of some kind. I'm sure most fish are gonna, it's trying to get away from them. So. Yeah, I gave away one of mine's. Like I was like, I was like, wait a minute, and some I don't know. I was like, man, I'm like, where am I? I was like, we're talking about. I was like, oh man, like somebody took my clipper. I had a bunch of blades, and I think I only have one of the blades now. But actually, I don't. The clipper I bought, I don't like it. It was spendy at the time. At the time, I don't know if I like it anymore. Because the real ones that cut really good cost like 50-60 bucks cheaper, but they're super sharp. They can cut super close. They can fade your hair. They can do everything, and they're just. But they're still $100 clippers to cut your hair, but they're. And I got something like similar to it that costs the same price. It's the same company, but it's like their other brand, and everybody's like their other thing of it, and everybody's like, they're so great. And I did not like them. I don't like them as much, and I have them, and I'm like, I don't like these. And I worked so hard to get the money to get them. I was like, I don't. Man, I spent like 100. I was upset. I was like, these don't match that, and I fought to get these clippers. It's like I'm gonna get these clippers because they're like these ones from before I used to cut with, and I'm like, they're the same, and that's what they were telling me when I was gonna get them, when I was going to buy them, and I was like, these are not gonna cut the same, and I was like, the blades they're not moving the same, they're not as firm, like the design, but they were really solid, and then they just didn't cut like I wanted to at all, and it's like they cut sort of okay for like a day, like like a half a month, and I was like, they're not. I was like, this is something. They're not right. But I still have them, and I have like one. I only have one blade for them, but I had two. But I really needed 3 blades for that one to do what I wanted to do for my hair. But whatever. And now I just cut at that level and call it good and line it up because I have some trimmers. I have my trimmers and another pair of trimmers. I'm like, whatever. Like, it's good enough. Yeah, I'm weird about that too sometimes. But the hair, people trying to cut my hair. Kind of funny about that too, sometimes. Maybe when I get, it doesn't. Maybe when I get really this certain age, then I'll be like, yeah, cut my hair. Because I've cut other people's hair, and then I had people cut people's hair, and they got mad. I don't like it. And I said, man, I don't like cutting nobody's hair no more. Then he might cut someone else's hair. I love it. Oh, okay. And I cut hair with scissors too. Like, I've cut women's hair too before. Like, you know, they want their like almost like their layer type thing. And I'm like, oh, cut it. And I was like, it's not gonna be quite like you want, but I can cut it. And then I like it. And I'm like, okay. It's like, you can make money doing that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Just get some of this hair from around this hook eye. Hey, Rude. Yeah, back again for the first time. Back again for the first time, man. Yeah, I haven't tied anything like this in a minute, so I'm like, I'm having fun with it. It's just see how it comes out. It's coming out okay. I think it's gonna look good. It's definitely just a fish, a bait fish. Just a simple bait fish. Blue, green, white, green tail, a little bit black to it. Just trying to get the hairs and stuff out of the way of the hook eye. Which technically, you could leave it. You could probably leave part of it. As long as you can get a thread, piece of fishing line through there, and the hair's secured, you're good. You're fishing. But we want it to be professional looking or nice. We're gonna do this little intricate cutting. And you could even put like a piece of red underneath. Red underneath would look pretty cool too. A little bit of red. Hold on. What I got over here? Where's this one part? Oh, what's this? There's some rabbit hair I got laying around. You can do all kind of things. You can just take this little tuft. See? Just that little tuft of rabbit hair. And we just put it underneath. You got something else going on there. That's like the gills or the the fish or something. I like this thing. This would be cool too. Because you could even take this. You drop it down the side if you wanted to. Like that. See, like that's a like little something different. Like it's bleeding or hurt. Or you could drop it down and it's underneath. You can do it, it's on the top if you wanted to. Just a little piece. But I was like making it like just a plain That's what's cool about tying. You can do all that stuff. You can mess around with it. But yeah, that's a pretty bulky fly. And it's not perfect, but I'm trying. You guys can see it. Looks pretty good. But you see on the side, not as much blending because that's the side I'm looking at. Your guys are looking at the most. I was like, I'm trying to work this side to make it. I want it to look more even, blended, more even. I'm sure it probably doesn't matter to the fish because once it goes like that, it's gonna go move around. But let's see. Yeah, I think I'm done with it. But yeah, it's like rabbit hair, and there's a little bit of marble and a little bit of black in the tail. So I haven't tied a saltwater fly in. Anything that looks kind of big streamery and yeah, it's been over. It's been like 15 years. No joke. I'm not even lying. I think. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's been like 15 years. No, 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 wait. 10. It's been like 10 years. So this is the first time you guys, whoever's in here, you're the first ones to see me tie a big streamer like this in 10 years. Crazy how that sounds. Yeah, I haven't tied a big streamer in 10 years. This is the first time. But I was like, let me. And I haven't tied a bucktail, a true bucktail either. Kind of want to tie one in a while, a long time. Come on, get out of there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying this thread out. I kind of like it, but it's good for this. I definitely think it works good for this. Like it feels pretty snug. Like it's. I like it kind of. But the thread prices now, it's getting kind of not that bad, but it's like oh. Yeah, this thread's pretty thick. I've tied a couple jigs with it, and I was like I kind of liked it, but I just realized like it took less wraps to make what I was trying to make, and it just was there was a little something different to it, a little something, kind of a little thing to it. But tying that felt pretty good. Yeah, it's gonna change, right? You know, in the water, because you know in the water it's gonna that's gonna go back. like that. It's gonna come back, and then this is gonna be smaller. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be more like this shape. Still looks pretty good though. That's gonna be the shape from the side. Even that side, even though it's not, it's still gonna. Still gonna look pretty good. Well, let's see if this. Try this glue on this stuff. See how we do. Yeah, because like I was looking at this stuff too. Put the orange on top. Orange. Or actually, this might have been. Let's see. I could have just done. I could have just done like that. Like a little. I think the red looks better though. Yeah, I think the red looks better though. Or like, I think this looks better. Like type of like a mallard, like a little feather. I think it looks better to give it that kind of thing. Or this might work too. Just playing around with stuff. Could use this too. Like a little bit of that. Calf, like little calf's tail. This is like the longer calf's tail. So you can like use it as a streamer. It's like pretty long. If you look next to my finger, it's pretty long. It makes good streamer, kind of stiff material, kind of streamer. So if you put it next to up there, that would be good too. You put it on just like dash on top, just like just a little bit. That's I was like, I wanted. That's why I wanted to put that green in there. This why I wanted to put this green bucktail in there, but I wanted to put the it's got the green and black on this part. So I think felt like that would like look cool, even though it's but like on the side of a baitfish, when the darker back blends into I thought that so this green and black, it's like green and black basically that buck part of the bucktail, so that would like really cool. So I just stuck it there, and then you look at in contrast to the tail, it's like it matches up. And that actually almost looks like like a peacock bass. They have that eye because I put the black in there. If you look at it closely, like, right? Doesn't it kind of look like that? Like a peacock bass. Like a peacock bass has the eye on the tail. That's crazy. But if you look under there, like when you look under there, that's kind of cool. That's all it is underneath there. It's actually blue, and then black on the top, like kind of like, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you start blending, trying to like make everything meld together, I guess. I'm like, hey, it looks kind of. You start thinking anything will work. No, I think sometimes the colors and stuff. You could even do that. Like, you could put rubber legs. This could be rubber legs on the top, actually. It's like you could actually have rubber legs on the top, but it wouldn't. The rubber legs are gonna want to have more action than what this hair, whatever it's called. This probably would want it like that, like where they're hanging down or something, like underneath. Then it would turn into something else, like almost like it's a shrimp or something else, because then, or some kind of other sea creature, I think. If you put legs like that underneath, like these are black, like glitter legs. that's what's cool about fishing and stuff and creating, making this stuff. It's like, oh yeah, like wait a minute, and you start going and going and going and going. You're like, I don't know, is that? That's what I said. Did someone make this already? You know, you start thinking. Then you start thinking to yourself, you're like, did somebody? And you're like, oh yeah, I saw this somewhere. You know, so you have to be. You just gotta tie, right? And then be like, oh well, it's no excuse, but it's at the same time you're like, oh, wait a minute. You're like, wait a minute. There's millions of flies and lures out there. I gave away one of my saltwater books. Yeah, I did. I gave away one of them. I don't know who ended up with it, but I gave away one of my saltwater time books. Really cool book. But I was like, I had no need for it. I was like, in a way, I had no need for it because I had another book to learn some other stuff from, and I had already like kind of mastered most of that stuff. I was like, there was no need, and I was like, somebody's gonna really like this. And I was like, some of those patterns I don't need to tie here. And I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to get to go fish from a boat to catch this type of rockfish. And I said, but it would work better for someone in a different area because there's more of the predatory fish that are that would grab those type of patterns and stuff that looks more like this. So I was like, no, there's more stuff like that. So I was like, I don't need it. I was like, there's like 3 patterns in there I can get away with. Like if I really wanted to decide to do that again, try that out, do that type of thing. I was like, those 3 patterns will work. And one of them is literally just is rabbit hair. So I was like, I don't. I honestly, I think that rabbit hair pattern is how they started making the jigs for the salmon, actually. Because I believe what was happening was people were going rock fishing here to catch the rock bass and the lingcod. And what was happening is people were catching salmon by accident, by coincidence. So they realized, like, well, whatever the salmon are feeding on, or whatever the rockfish are feeding on, the salmon are probably feeding on too, because we're catching salmon in the same area with the same lure. I think that's what was happening. And then people realized, and they had the flesh fly and all that already. And so then it just took off from there. And then someone said, we're going to make a jig for river salmon fishing. But the honest truth is, like, I was like looking at that for a long time. I was like, man, what is that? I was like, that would that catch? And I had already had that rabbit fly that I had tied and that someone had showed me. So I was like, And when I saw it pop out, and they start putting those lures out, I said, oh, yeah. I was like, man, I knew about that for a long time. Because people were like, yeah, we're catching like coho and kings by like randomly in these areas with these flies from the boat, or we're fishing for rockfish for them. I think that's good. We're gonna see if this head cement's gonna work right. I've been having trouble with this sort of having trouble with this cement. This head cement. This the UV kind. So it seems like you don't want to put too much, but that's a big fly. That's a big fly. So I want to make sure I can glue it there. All right. I don't know everything. but I like to fish. Passed it up. Yeah, and it has a, I don't know, the stuff has like a funny, I don't know. I like it because it seems easy, but at the same time, yeah, I'm well aware certain things about this one. And I realized that there's stuff. I was like, I looked at another thing and I was like, oh, there's pieces that I think they're supposed to go with this. And we're missing. So, but I'm gonna try. Oh, hold on. Let's see if we can get the glue to run like it's over here. Hope so, Derek, if you're still in here. This was just a throw it together, thinking of herring. That's what I was thinking of. Herring, sardine, something like the coloring. Something that just looks like a fish. So blue, greens, white belly, silvers, a little black color to it. And it came out all right, I think. After never tying any kind of fly like this for years, I think it looks okay. Don't think it's these are Gamakatsu. Yeah, these are Gamakatsu. They're the Siwash, but they're Seawash, Siwash. Everybody says something different. Seawash hook. So the technically you can put them on spoons and stuff, and you can close the hook eye around it. But they will work as a fly hook, as a saltwater fly hook. Actually, they actually work as a saltwater fly hook really well. You gotta kind of be patient, but I don't know. When I got more back into the tying again, tied along for a long time, and then I kind of like put down. I only would tie jigs. That's what it is too. That's why I was like tying lots of jigs, because I always like tie jigs only for. I was like, I'm going salmon fishing, tie jigs. I would literally not tie anything else. I was just like, I'm tying jigs, but I've tied other things. That's kind of why that. And I was like, oh, now I'm rusty on all these, because there's all these other, there's little techniques and little things to do certain things. And then when you're tying like little small trout flies and different things, sometimes it's a little different. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that's kind of irritating when you do that. But before you got used to doing it over and over again, you get comfortable. So you're like, oh yeah, that's easy. But then when you go back to, you're like, oh no, it's not easy anymore. You're like, oh, it's not as easy. It's kind of curing. I don't know if you can see it. It's supposed to be 20 seconds, and that's supposed to cure it, but I can see it kind of curing. And I'm gonna show you guys. I'll show you guys this other. I'll show you one of them jigs, those jigs too. These other jigs and stuff. Because some of these I did not tie on a live, so you can kind of see like kind of how they look on the live stream. Let's see if I can get this to. There you go. It's kind of focused a little bit for you guys, I think. Who was ever watching? That's like try not to put too much of that stuff. But trout were I did catch a fish. I did catch one fish. I did hook one fish. The glue didn't quite cure. I did hook a fish, but the glue didn't quite cure. So I was like, they didn't. Fish weren't totally turned away from it, but I don't want to. I want to make sure. Yeah, it's supposed to be 20 seconds, but obviously you see them holding there longer than 20 seconds all around. I think. But here, so these ones. Look at it. And this one, it tried to do something weird on me. But I think once it gets in the water. Oh, I'm still going to use it. Hey. Yeah. Trout was stripping my bait today and all that stuff was happening. I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't think bass is going to mind that just because they look like, because this material, once it get wet, if I don't know if you saw that live, if you were in the live, Rude, uh, it it becomes really soft once it gets absorbs enough water, just like the rabbit hair. You got to kind of let it. You might want to dip it a couple times before you start casting it around really good. It absorbs the water, and it really is. It starts to that this material will stretch a little bit. So that's what I'm saying. It's trying to other things are trying to stick to it. The glue's not quite, so I'm trying to keep it. And one of these is from like the day before. It's just not. That's what I don't like about it. And I put the light on it. You can see it. If you can see it, there's the crawfish back. Yeah, you see it. You see how it looks. Yeah. So I had to put these like in the sunlight and just let them sit over there. And I'm like, I don't like this, and I wanted them to have that sheen. Look, I wanted to have the sheen to it. See, and you hit the light, and that's a type of monofilament, but uh, it's actually I don't even think they make it anymore. But I've been keeping it just for this reason. Uh, it's a type of it's actually spider wire. It's a type of spider wire. Of all things, it's a type of spider wire. But it's a monofilament spider wire, but it has like a certain blue thing to it. That's why it lights up. It's not just like it's like regular monofilament, but that's why it kind of lights up kind of crazy like that when you put the UV on it. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna use that. But it is, yeah, it's a. Let's see the other part to it. It's like a blue. It's actually a blue fishing line. It's actually blue 8-pound fishing line. Put this on there. Yeah, so this is my attempt at a big streamer, big saltwater streamer, decent size, not too bad. I think it looks all right. It's a basic blue, green. Let me see. I'm gonna go grab. I'm gonna grab another one. So whoever's in here, you can see the other ones. think I have some ones I used to tie over here, kind of hanging out. I just never. It's like the grab bag. I think I made some shorts from some of them, but I just kind of left them. I actually let somebody else use them. Yeah, I've lended I lended flies to someone so they can make shorts before. So I actually lended flies so someone else can make a short, so someone can make a short for their YouTube like years ago. No, I was like, you can just use them, like. And then I made my own again from my own, but they're my own flies. So I'm like, oh, flies. But I gave it to them to use. I think I already showed. Yeah, I showed this one already. This is like my this is like my version of a tarpon fly. Yeah, it's like super red, like elongated. Basically the same type of hook, chicken, saddle, and I just added green crystal flash to the tail, and that's it. It's like a tarpon fly. Like actually, I think you probably could catch a shark with that too if you can get it in front of them. Certain species of shark would probably grab that. But that's a simple fly, to me. Like this tail, you wrap it, and then I think there's another one in here. There's another one, I think. There's some other type of thing. There's some crawfish flies in here. I think I showed it. Oh yeah, Kia would laugh at this. David would laugh at this one. Look how big this joker is. You guys would laugh. This is a big one. But it's a fly nonetheless. Yeah, it's like but this is not a saltwater, but it's like it's like a stimulator. And then see that's kind of for me. This is where the crawfish inspiration already came from because but I used the and look who says hello. Yeah, and then there's a different crawfish, but it's a different color, and then it's like the grizzly hackle, and then this one, and I melted the eyes. It'll focus. I just didn't melt them enough, but this is like a older fly. This is like the grab bag of fun stuff. It's just like a grab bag of patterns and stuff that got weighted eyes. Yeah, so I tie that stuff. You guys just never seen me tie it. Yeah. This is like my old grab bag. I call it the goody grab bag. It's this I tied this before they even had those Twitcher jigs. So you can see it's fading. The legs, that's why they're all look all crazy. But I tied this before they even had that stuff. So for me, I was already like, yeah, I already was on that level, going towards that. I just was like, oh man, like, okay. That's why I said that. For me, like some of the stuff is like, man, it's fun stuff. Got woolly buggers, different type, like crazy looking types of woolly buggers. All kind of stuff. I was just playing around with. Looks like it's an emerger or something. Salmon. Just fun, just stuff. That's the one right there, though. I just never put it on a different hook. Different style hook. I needed to put it on a different style hook. But it's kind of was meant to like dead drift it through. And we got I don't know. And then there's this one. I used what hooks were available. So yeah, I have all kind of creations. I just these are just random creations. Like puts that catch that will catch fish. Just yeah. Some of these are like from back in the day. That's from back in the day. You know, messing with the deer hair when I was messing with deer hair a lot, catch bass and stuff. Fun stuff like trying to get the gotta get the patterning in there. I was just doing all kind of funny stuff. Put a corky on the front. I wanted it to float so I could drift it and cast it also on a regular rod. Yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. Just messing around with it and see if it catches anything. All kinds of goodies. And now we got all kinds of more stuff like that. There's all kinds of cool stuff now. And then we got all these other ones. Just been messing with stuff, messing with things. Where is it at? It's over here. No. I think you've seen that one, but I was fishing with this one. It looks goofy now. So it's dried. I just let it dry out. I was fishing with that one. Today was fun, kind of, but spent 2 hours and then I got fish later. Trout later. Where am I looking for? What am I looking for? Is it in here? And I really like this one, which I tied on the live. I liked it that one. I don't know. I really liked it that one because the glitter, being able to get that dubbing in between, and then still wrap it, and then wrap again over it, and it came out really cool. The flash in there. To me, it just looked like that's salmon. Gonna have issues with that one. And I want to tie another more of those ones, but then change the color scheme up a little bit. But just a simple woolly bugger. I had really good luck with those, the woolly buggers like that. They catch steelhead too, but like the jig twitching them, I had really like crazy. That's why I was like, I like these. Like sometimes these are, and that's just like a cotton candy color scheme, but with a big bushy tail. But for salmon, and it's kind of smaller. But the hook kind of smaller, but it's strong enough to hold them, and then you can kind of finesse it through and see if you can get them to strike. So I was like, I think it works. I think it's also too the time. Like I don't know how y'all feel about it if you tie. Sometimes like the time versus to me, if I don't know, maybe I'm just weird. Sometimes like I feel like I don't want to tie that because that time. Fish do that pig. Hey Luca. Like that took more. I tied one before. And then I tied another one. But it just took more time. Took just a lot of more time to make that one. Took more time to tie that, like when you could tie this same thing and I could fish for the same fish and I catch it. That's what it is for me sometimes. I'm like, that's like this took me less time. This took me less time. It still had some cool, crazy It's really cool. Look at the tail. You know, when you look at it from that view, that's probably what the fish was eating, and it sleeks down. But I thought that was really kind of. I thought that was really kind of funny about it. I was like, sometimes you put all that into it to catch one, and then you don't need that. You didn't need this. And you go, what? They want that. Like they're just jumping on that lure. So like today, I tried to fish worms. I couldn't. Like they were stripping the hook, and I was weird stuff. I was like, man, I can't catch it. It's like I got 2 spoons that I bought, and I know these spoons are gonna like. I think these 2 colors. I know they gotta work. Let's try it. Fish, 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 fish. I'm like, okay. But I spent the whole first 2 hours fishing worms and having them strip the bait, hooking one, losing it, like doing all kinds of things, and then boom, 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 lost one. One jumped, got off, boom. So I ended up hooking 5 fish. So I was like, 5 trout. So it was like, you never know. That's how it is. Yeah, yeah. The skunk day, basically, that's what it was. I was like, man, them having a feast. I was like, all them worms I picked from the yard and went over here and walked around, walked around to another neighborhood. I said, oh, there's a yard, there's a place over there. There's a grass field over there. I had to walk over there. Walked over. I was like, oh, and there's like a little thing where the plants are. Like, over there. I know there's gotta be worms over there. Go over. I know I've seen worms over there. Go over there. Like, I did all that. And then, boom, lost most of those. Fish ate most of it. Hooking is better. Yeah. I don't know. Hooking is better than skunking. Hooking is better than skunking. Yeah, like, I don't know. Everybody's like their opinion. I still like my flamingo. Yeah. I have a great time fishing this jig. It ain't no more different than that one. And this one is designed. This is basically designed after a marketed one that they don't market really that much anymore. But I added this one's it's the woven chenille. I weaved the chenille body on it, so it's not all hot pink on the body. If you look, belly's pink, top's orange, and it catches fish too. But it's just it's a little extra. So it's like you could just do the same thing, just put one color. You can just use one color, all pink, and that would still do the same job. But it seemed it was something different to throw at them. Fishing for salmon was something different to throw at them and see if they'll grab it, and they would grab it. Especially pinks, they're easy to catch. But it was kind of fun to throw the different colors, and sometimes there was like a little bit different reaction to it. And I noticed there was like there was a size difference a little bit too of the fish, the type of fish that were grabbing the lure. And I've tried that like for 4 years straight, and I was like, let me just see. And I would lose them, and then I would tie them, and I would lose them. And I was like, it's like, it's still a regular jig. Anybody can make that jig. But it's like, it's kind of cool. It was kind of fun to see the difference and how they respond to it. Yeah, I like pink. I like the pink. I don't know about the stink. I like it. I don't know about the stink. Yeah. I'm trying to see if this is gonna. Yeah, so I like this glue. I don't know. And I had to label this thing, so I don't. Like, see, that's like, I don't know. Like, I held this on there. I think it's just not really. I can see it. Yeah, salmon are kind of funny though. Like, they're not. They just. I don't know. Like, when they're thick, I've seen them bite almost anything. So like, we had like one of the biggest runs. I think I talked about it before. And we had like one of the bigger runs of of it was just of the pink salmon. So like, not the one everybody's chasing, but because there were so many in the river, it created like a thing. So when fish hit certain areas and there was a lot of fishing pressure, I saw some. I saw there was more than pinks being caught. It was weird because there were so many pinks in the water. It was press. It was like pushing the other fish out, and so they were getting caught too. That's how many fish were in there. And so it's kind of like, and they were being caught on uh what do you call those? The power egg, not the cluster one, the one that's for steelhead. They were catching on those. They were catching them on like curly tail grubs. It was crazy. Like, you were people were catching fish you weren't expecting in that area. Never seen them catch them like that there on just all kinds of lures that I was just like, what? It's just like, and then the way people were fishing them was not like how you would normally fish them when there's less fish in the water. If that makes sense, people were just throwing it out and then letting it, and then just reeling it in, and just usually the salmon wouldn't. It'd be harder to get them. You'd have to really try to find where they're at, and it was just like people were like next to me like, "Oh, I got a steelhead now." And I'm like, "What?" And I was like, "Look, I'm like, you got a steelhead." I'm like, nobody catches steelhead here at this time of year. Like, it was just really strange. It was really strange. But there were so many fish in the water. Those straggler fish that shouldn't, they would normally shoot by you, you wouldn't catch. Summer runs, all this, where they were getting caught. So it was there were so many salmon in there that was pushing steel. People were catching steelhead and the straggler Atlantic salmon. Like, it was strange. It was just like, this is like, oh, that means there's a lot of fish in here, and it hasn't been that way since. And they said like this year, then the year coming up, it might be that way. But I'm like, I don't think it's quite gonna be that way, but it might be good, really good at least for pink salmon anyway. And I don't know, we'll see. We got months to go. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking though. But I put the other one on the. I did it. Did that. I did it, and then I put it on the windowsill. See, it cured under here. It actually cured there. Look at that. Yeah, I was kind of playing around with that part of it. I was like, man, look at that. But this was I put the thinner one on this one though, because of because there's so much of this stuff. I autocorrect too, but it just means it's predicting it for you. That's all it means. It tries to predict for you, right? Okay, let's see. I think I want to type one more thing, and then I'm gonna call it a night. Even though it's Friday, so tie one more thing. I don't know. Yeah. It's not too bad. Like, the rabbit hair in there. My attempt at my own little mini saltwater streamer. Yeah, I think so too. Like, just needs it like as we were like doing like little bit of red on the bottom of it. I was like red or something like there's already a pattern like that, but like but that's rabbit hair in there, and then try. I need to hang this on something. Hold on, let's see. Can I got like a thing I can hang it. Yeah, yeah. Like I was trying to make it like a herring or something, like kind of in between a herring. You kind of bait fish, basically. But yeah, this thread is kind of it's weird. Like when I tie it on the smaller hooks, this thread it's kind of it's it seems like it's like tough. When I tied it on that hook, it was like, oh, this is like perfect. So it's pretty. I think it's meant for bigger um, hooks and stuff. It just seems to work better. That's what I noticed. I was like, maybe this work better on the big hook. Tried it out. I was like, yeah, it was a little easier to tie with that on a bigger hook. It just felt more comfortable with it. Where's my oh, this is what I'm talking about, Luca. What I'm talking about. You see me tie that one fly. I'm pretty sure you probably saw it, but that stuff. Remember I was talking about that. Remember I picked up that fly from the water. Yeah, that's what it is. That is what that is too. Yeah, that's the one that looks like that mayfly that I picked up when those trout were eating. It's like almost like it's so like a blood orange almost. I don't know what they call it. It looks orange. It's like blood orange to me, like red orange. It's not a true red. It's like a red orange or something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was like, remember, I was like, you saw me pick it up, and I was like, it's kind of like red or something. I was like, yeah, that's what it looked like. Kind of like the body of it was kind of like that color. So, hmm. Well, knock this out. I don't want to tie that other thing because that's too. That crawfish thing is too. I don't even know. I'm gonna tie this other thing real quick because I need to tie one anyway. Yeah, that crawfish is a little too much. It's just look like it's gonna be a good. It's good pattern, but I think it's just like all the other crawfish patterns I showed you. Is like there's just a lot to that. There's a lot to these other ones. Oh, here. It's just I gotta wrap them on a filament. I gotta do a dubbing. I gotta spin the dubbing on it. I gotta do all that stuff. All right, man. Night night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. I'm up even though I'm fishing. I'm like, that's one. That's already one. Yeah, I'm gonna tie one more thing and I'm going right there. I think I'm gonna tie no, this one. It's already right here. I'm gonna tie one and I'm going to bed. I'm gonna go sit down. Tie one jig. It's a little one. Still haven't gotten a new thing for it yet. Yeah, you on the island, man. Oh gosh, what's his name? He's on the island too. He's on one of the islands too. He moved there from here. I'm trying to think of his name right now. No. Well, he makes YouTube too. He makes a YouTube video right now. He makes YouTube videos all the time, and he knows a bunch of people here, and he knows a bunch of people there. You might have ran across him, maybe. You might have ran across him, and he makes YouTubes. And I ran across him when I was here. I'm over here working. I was working and stuff, and I was like, he was like, I think he almost ended up homeless at the time, and then he went over to the island. I was like, you're going over there? I was like, it's expensive in some places, and he was like, yeah. He's like, nope, I'm fine. I know a bunch of people. I was like, okay. And now he's over there, but he makes YouTubes and stuff. Makes YouTube videos. And he got him a place or wherever he wanted to go. He's good. Like, okay. And I just met him. That's all my adventures are always like that, random sometimes. I was doing work. I was working my job, and I was in Seattle, and I was like sitting there, and then boom, this guy like, hey, and I'm like, hey, and then next thing you know, the conversation started, and then he's like, oh yeah, he's like, I think I'm gonna do this. I was like, okay, that's cool, and then I was like, oh, you kind of know this person, and he's like, yeah, I know who you're talking about. He kind of knew. I think he kind of knew some person, someone that I knew kind of too, and then with someone else I went to school with, and then he's like, "Oh, you know that person?" I was like, "Yeah, I know who they are." And oh yeah. And then next thing you know, he was gone. And then one day I was like, scrolling, boom, there he was, and he was like, "Hey." So I was like, "Oh, so I'll subscribe." So sometimes I watch his videos too. I watch his content sometimes, and he talks about different things and what's going on and world, whatever. He talks about different things. I was like, "Hey, I met you, and he was having all these things happen too." So, life can change. Life can change around for you, just like that. Bucktail definitely matches. Bucktail. I don't know. Orange. No, orange and green doesn't look right. I need the other stuff. Yeah. It's okay. These are kind of. I couldn't get hooked one of those trout with it though. This is actually kind of longer on this one. It's a 1/8. The weight's right, but the shank is a little bit long. So it's good for tying on. But what I found, and they're decent quality, but what I found a little something, because there's another one. It's that much shorter. It's like right there, it's shorter, and then it curved, and it's got almost the same gap. The gap's just like a slight, it's like a millimeter shorter, 1 millimeter shorter, like in, and it's got a quicker drop to it because just a little bit less weight, and trout like that one. But you can tie on it too, and but it's just it looks almost the same when you look at it, but it's not. It's like the shank is this shank is slightly in to right there, like right where that pain is a little bit in that, and then it's bending right there in there. It's like a little. It's like this is just basically pushed in here, and then this is down a little bit more. just by a little bit, and it seems to sink a little bit quicker. So yeah, it's morning. It's morning for y'all. Well, I mean, it's still it's just 1 o'clock for me. It's just 1 o'clock for me. Well, yeah, and David, right? Time is it for you? Yeah, I'm up today. Tonight, I'm up. Let's go with the yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do the green tail. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do like olive tail. Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to do olive. Instead of like a true like lime green tail, it's olive. Olive tail. You guys are all on these crazy time frames. He's like, it's 10:11 here. And it's 1:13 here. Hey, well, it's not Friday anymore. It's not Friday anymore. So let me cut this. So I want to make a really small poofy tail. It's like the 8/0 thread, so it's good. That other thread, something else for sure. And that's the thing, going back between the two, UV and this stuff is different. This takes longer. This takes longer to kind of set, but it's like, I don't know, there's something about it. I've been kind of playing with going back and forth, combination of both. Combination of both. So it's like, this stuff actually, this brand I got, this stuff actually like glues pretty quick. Hey man, you gotta feed the barn animals, man. I've only got to do that a couple times, and then I went to a petting zoo. I got to feed the farm animals a couple times, and I got to call the cows with the special cow, the cow call. I actually got to do that. I'm not a city slicker totally. I'm not a total. I'm a suburb something, little something, like something in between. And then we do the thing, ooh, 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 make the noise, and then you make the noise, and you put your hands together, ooh. Put your hands together to make your voice carry, and then you hear balloon, 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 balloon. Oh, here they come, and then here come all the cows. You hear the couple cows that got the bells on them come waltzing in, and then the rest follow them. They know that sound. They know that specific call, and that was pretty funny. And I was like, "What is it? We're gonna call the cow." What? I was like, what? First time I saw that, I remember the first time I saw that. I said, "What?" I was excited. I said, look at them cows. They come like a dog. They're calling them. Oh, here come the cows. Bloom, bloom. And the bell, I could hear that bell on the neck of the cow. Bloom, bloom, kabloom, 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 kabloom. Yeah, my grandma had cows. She had cows, and of course, she had one bull. One bull, and of course, he was not always the nicest feller. Sometimes. Yeah, they know. People think, oh, cows. I mean, they do some things. You're like, but they hear that noise. I was like, oh, here they come. And I was like, how many are there? And I was like, look. And they came out from the tree line. And there's like like a water area. And they come out. I was like, where are them cows? I said, there's tons of cows. You got a lot of cows. Quite a bit of cows at the time. Quite a bit of cows. She's like, yeah, they are there. I said, I didn't think anything was out there. And she's like, oh yeah, there's cows. And of course the pond had fish. The thing they drink from had fish in it, so we'd fish in there and catch typical thing: bass, and big old bluegill. That's what was in that pond. Oh, and catfish. There was channel catfish in there. Those are the three things that were in there: channel catfish, that, and snapping turtles. There was a few snapping turtles in there, and snakes. Poisonous snakes were there too, because that was in the south, so where that place was at. But it was like a little dip. It would like the ground kind of the thing, it kind of like a field, and it kind of like dipped down. It's grass field and dip down, and then that's where the water would be. And there was like a tree. There's like a tree in the water, and then but it was for the cows to drink and stuff. But they had put fish in there, stocked it like it was for farming, and they had pigs at one point, and all kinds of stuff. But I just never forget that. Blunk, 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 blunk. What is that? It's like, just watch. Here come a cow, come waltzing up. I would believe it. They have wild turkeys in that property too, and deer and everything else. Wild turkeys, deer, coyotes. People claim they've seen a black panther on that property. I don't know, in this one place, but I don't know if that's true. Just random things. I was talking about it, but randomly, but people claim they've seen it on there, and people are like, those don't exist in the United States and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's the South. I don't know. And that area is not, I mean, it's the lower part. It's small. I don't know. Mexico's like right over there. Argentina. I don't know. You never know. Argentina Jaguar. Argentina Jaguar. That's not real. Oh my God, it is. How do you know that? I did a whole school report on it. It says with my friend. Eh, I don't know. A lot of people told me that too. They're like, cows are dumb. Well, I did see the cow get in the water, but it was like the calf though. And then it was weird. It's like, why are you going? And he's like, and like it's like I don't know if he started panicking, right? He got in the thing and he could go around. He was like swimming in the thing was swimming in a circle. And like it was like, get it out of there. And it was like it didn't know. It was like, why isn't it getting out of the water? Like it was weird. It was like it didn't know. It was almost like it didn't know. It was weird. It was really strange. And they're like, this never happened before. It was really weird. And this cat just like went and like swam out and just like struggled. And they're like, okay, it just went out there and swam around and then like drowned in the thing. It was really in the pond. It was really weird, really strange, really weird behavior, But it was a calf though, like a calf, and it was weird because it was a calf that had been birthed for had been being fine for a little while, quite a while. Like really, really odd stuff. Maybe, yeah. Yeah. It's black. It's a black color. It's a big cat. I was like, is it a panther or is it like a puma? I was like, maybe it's like something that's, I thought that too. I was like, maybe it's like just like you know, that's what they saw. And they're like, no, we saw this thing. And I was like, I believe them because it's like they're just on the, country land. And they're like, we were sitting at the house and we looked down where the cows are. And we're like, there's something walking over there. And they're like, it's a cat. And they're like, it's big. And they're like, it looks black, like a black cat. And I'm like, and they're like, it's pretty big because from here, like, you can tell it's not a regular house cat. It's huge. It's a big thing, but it's a ways away, and it's so you never know. Those cats travel big. They have big distance. They go, so they they do cover big distances. We have them here. I've seen them no more than 5 minutes from my house, 10 minutes from here where I'm at. So big old paws running across the road, and I've seen like cougars, cougars around here. So like, and I've heard them at night, making the noise. I'm like, cougar, and not the female kind. Maybe that maybe you know what maybe I mean because that was in the south over there, so maybe. And I mean I saw animals over there. I'm not sure if they were supposed to be there too, like some animals. And now in Florida, look how some parts of Florida, South Florida, how it is. So certain parts of South Florida, they're like, whoa, like what's that? They had monkeys, I guess, loose or something at one point. I'm like, I don't know. So who knows what if humans weren't and were over, or who knows what would be, you know, who knows what would be where and what. I've definitely found I found uh which I didn't know we didn't know what it was. And then we called somebody and they came out and figured out what it was. Um if you're into snakes, I don't know if Jamie's still in here. She probably would know what I'm talking about. She's probably doing her live or something, or maybe not. I don't know. But what are they called? They're like a snake that it's in the ground. They come in from the ground. They're hardly anybody ever sees them because they're under the ground all the time, and they hunt like worms. That's what they hunt. So they're like a snake you would never and they're small and they're pretty much harmless, but you just never would see them because they're usually underground hunting night crawlers and worms and earthworms and stuff. That's what they hunt. As crazy as that is, that's what they hunt. and we found one when we were digging. I think we found one. Who knows these days with the weird stuff that goes on, but yeah. Found one just in the yard, and I heard a yell from the yard, "Come out here and check this out. You like animals? What is that?" Family member, "What is that?" I said, "It looks like it's a worm." And I looked at it closely. I'm like, "It's not a worm. It's something else." And it was. I said, "It's like a lizard, almost like, but it's not." Turns out, call somebody. They come over there. They're like, "Oh, this is like a snake. It lives like almost all underground. You never would see this." They're like, "Where did you find it?" And then we're like, "Right there in the yard. Like we dug a hole there." And they're like, "Oh, you probably dug where it was, you know." They said, "Yeah, people don't see these because they're usually under the ground, just hunting worms. Like they almost never come up out of the ground. Maybe in the leaf litter, they might find one, but they're like, yeah, just so they're in the ground." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I seen, this rat's no good. Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Why? Because it's the island, I mean, there's exceptions to the rule. Some of the islands, like not other islands that are in different other parts of the world, but yeah, I could see that. Not the typical thing, which is a good thing. It's like that. Yeah, that was kind of weird. So this is like lime. Is this lime? No, this is like this is like This is like real chartreuse, I guess. But, it actually matches just a simple G. But I wanted the other tail. I wanted the real olive green tail. Yeah, this. I'm gonna go all the way. Yeah, I was like, "Ooh, it's next day. It's almost time to go fishing again." It's almost time to go fishing again. Oh, yeah, the black bears. Yeah, I don't like that. I saw that video. I bet you. I know you saw that video, David. I know you probably saw that video of the guy. He's like on the kayak, like trying to fish from the kayak, and then he's like, "Tiger shark." He's like, "Tiger shark trying to get me." That was crazy. Like it just came out of nowhere. Tiger shark just struck the boat, like struck his kayak. That was pretty. He's like, "Whoa!" He's like, "Kayak tried." He's like, "A tiger shark tried to get me." Hey, if you can saw through a turtle shell, if your teeth are designed to saw through a turtle shell, yeah, you're pretty bad, pretty bad. All right, good night or good morning. Yeah, have a good Saturday. I'm just up time. I'm gonna be done after this. What's up your time? Simple jig. Nothing too fancy about this one. Nothing fancy about this. I just wanted to make the one with the green tail to it. And I didn't put any crystal flash or anything in there. This one like plain. Yeah, I don't know. I'm big on the woolly buggers, I guess. I think it's just because it's one of the first things I tried. Woolly worms, woolly buggers, and I know they catch fish, and I've, had a great time catching salmon with them too. Sometimes I think when we fish, we really like the cool new hip thing. I think sometimes, and sometimes that is the thing that works, and it's what's working. But sometimes I think we just get really into that. I think everybody who's a fisherman, I mean, I had the what do you call it? What are they called? Scene on TV. I had the flying lures and all that stuff. I still have flying lures around. I think I showed them. I still have some. I think I might have showed them. I have helicopter lures. I have banjo minnows. I still have those things. Yeah, but I've caught fish on every single one. They did work. So they're not totally gimmicks. It's great, but the truth is they're just like people. They're spawning and making new fish, so they haven't seen it before. See, we humans, we think too much about it sometimes. That's what I was kind of I guess that's what I'm kind of getting at. But like, so basically I was thinking about like your tried and trues are always going to kind of your tried and true is always going to kind of come into play. Your tried and true lures are always going to come into play. Regardless, they're always going to kind of be, that's a tried and true right there. Like I know if I have a few of those, I'm always gonna. I know I feel comfy. I know I can take this jig, hop in the car, hop in the motorhome, and drive somewhere, anywhere in the United States, and throw it out, and I can catch something. Something's gonna look at it, be it a creek chub, something's gonna give it a look see. Well, those fish are those are the fed fish. Come on, some of those fish. I'm sure Jamie know about that. Like some of them fish are them fed fish. They're getting the scraps from when people fillet their fish after they've been on their boats and stuff. And people just go and catch fish, and they fish in the area, and they just throw their bait there. And so the fish have learned that's a free dinner bell. They've learned that's a free dinner. Yeah, I wasn't planning to tie tonight, but I did today. I kind of like, I was like, yeah, it was kind of fun. Caught some fish. Tie something. I was like thinking, tie that ocean jig or ocean or. Yeah, they did. Hey, that's what those trout were doing. They couldn't stand that spoon though. That Castmaster though. That was kind of funny. I figured that's what was going to happen anyway, but I was like, let's go with it. How do you feel? Let's go with it. I got that one. He got all three treble hooks. I think they do a little bit. Like I said, if people say they don't think, they're fish, they're dumb, and I was like, no, I think they just get really hungry sometimes. I think that's what it is. The forage, I think sometimes they just get really hungry, like super hungry. So then that's why you're like, oh, they're just biting everything, or there's like a super big hatch of something, or something's running through. So you're like, man, they're just biting everything, anything, and you're like, I think it's just that's when, like those trout they're gorging themselves on those. I saw Cadus and I saw Chironomid, so they're gorging themselves on that. So they're just like, something needs to just be moving a certain way around them, and then if you can get it in front of them and keep it moving a certain way, then you might grab it. But apparently worms were not the ticket. They got hip to that. They're like, oh yeah, that's real, but that's natural. But no, buddy. But I put that spoon on. I got 5. I hooked 5 at least. I haven't hooked 5 trout in a while. It was nice that feeling. Like, ooh. Yeah, right time. Yeah, right lure, right bait, or at the right time of year. Yeah. Springtime, when that water was cold though. I was like, put my hands in there. I was like, oh yeah, this is freezing. Not quite. It's just slightly above like freezing, but it's not 50 degrees. I'll tell you that. That water was not 50 degrees. That's low 40s. It was like low 40s or something. I was like hoping it would be more warmer than that when I put my hand in there. And I was like, oh no, this water is freezing. But it's just enough probably for those bugs to hatch off of there. That's what it is, I think. Just enough, because you saw the fly and I picked them up. Just warm enough for the flies to be hatching a little bit and moving around, and emergers and all that stuff to be kind of happening. But I've had that's what I was telling. That's why I was like, I was tying the one jig, and I was like, talking about that. I was talking about because I went in February, walking down by the lake. I just was like, I'm gonna go walk. I like had a drink or whatever. And I was like, I'm just gonna walk over there, and I got on the phone and walked. Boom, Dolly Varden are just feeding everywhere, and like, what's going on? I was like, there's fish everywhere. It's middle of February. It's freezing. It was cold almost. Like I was like, it's so cold out here. Like I was like, they're not supposed to be here right now. It just didn't compute to me, But I've seen these beautiful Dolly Varden trout, like bull trouts, like swimming. They're only like they're a couple feet over. They're only in like a couple feet of water. Like, what is happening? And then I just see them like grabbing something, and I couldn't see what they're grabbing. And then I looked up, and I was like, I saw there was a few bugs, and I said, there's some bugs, and it's like, it's cold, there shouldn't be any bugs. It's that cold, there shouldn't be any bugs. And then I had to think, then look back at the weather report, and then we had a slight bit of warm weather for like 2 days, just for 2 days, and then it went right back to being cold, and that's what it was. That's what set them off, like set the hatching off. But it was middle of February, so it's like you just had to be there at the right time to catch the thing. And I just happened to be there to walk down, and I'm like, I'm just on the phone. I'm like, what's going on in the water? And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all these trout! Like, why is there all these trout over here? Why are there all these bull trout just like hanging out? I was like, there's like 5 or 6 bull trout just like they were just milling around, and they were just grabbing bugs and stuff. And I was like, well, they're pretty big size. They weren't like those trout I caught. They were bigger than that, actually. But they're bigger than the ones I caught like today. And I was like, that's crazy. and they're in the same lake. So I was like, I know they're in here too. I forgot about the other; those are in there too. And I'm like there's bull trout. Like, what the heck's going on? The Dolly Vardens or whatever in here, and the I couldn't catch one, just nothing at all. I tried. I ran back to my apartment. I'm gonna catch one. Catch me one of those. I was like, nope, couldn't. I could not. They were gone, and I was looking. I said, and of course, every day after that, I would look. Every time I go to that place, or if I had a lunch break or something, and I would, because sometimes I had lunch break near my place, I would go look. Like, I'd look for those trout to see if I see any. And why people were like, "What are you?" Some people, "What are you doing? Why do you keep going there and sitting over there?" I said, "Because I'm gonna see if there's any trout." They're like, "I thought you said there's no trout in the wintertime." I said, I said, "No, there's trout. I just was mistaken that they would be that close to shore in this specific area." That's what it was. I was like, I didn't expect that because the water was so cold. I was like, I didn't expect that. It warmed up just enough, right weather for those 3 days or 2 days, and then it went to cold again, and that triggered something them had to hatch those bugs and stuff, and those trout went crazy for a few minutes and then gone. Like, it's like they just disappeared from this. So fish are, yeah, it's pretty cool it's neat how they're like that. You can see some pretty cool stuff if you're. That's when I was like, always carry polarized glasses in your car. That's when I started carrying them in my car, or like put them in the visor somewhere. Put some somewhere. Just keep them when they're useful, even if you're not fishing. But keep them; they can be useful. There's a real quick little jig. I can't find the bag to put this back in. I don't want it to get glue on it. Isn't that how it is though? You tie something and then you mess it up. Oh well. Well, I guess that one. No. That's okay. Yeah, I want to catch something. I was checking out that constantly. Yeah, I just wanted that. I'm not a big fan of like chartreuse actually, but I did start getting fan of it when I started catching salmon on yellow, like a yellow chartreuse, and then I caught them on like something similar yellow. It says chartreuse, but it's really like a yellow chartreuse. So like that's chartreuse, but then I have another chartreuse. Like it's not really. Oh yeah, like this isn't really chartreuse. It's more green. It's like lime green. It says fluorescent green. So it's the same, but it's not really. This is like light, kind of washed out. Like it's a little. It's slightly different. Hey, some of those crappies and actually, yeah. See, look, yeah. Ooh, it's got messed up. Hold on. I can get it. See, like you can. That's chartreuse. See, that's like the same chartreuse. It's like it's picking up deer hair and stuck to it. It's like a salmon roe fly. You can see it's debarbed and everything. Because I was just taking it in drifting it through the salmon hole. Let's see. Other. We're gonna try to use this glue again on this one. I'm gonna use the other glue. Let's try the other glue. Softener. Yeah, I don't know about this soft one. It just doesn't seem to work. I don't think I do. I think I just tie stuff. I don't want to get a big brain. I don't want to get a big brain because as soon as you do that, every time you do that, then you get into trouble with everybody. Oh, you think you're great? So anybody else skimming through the chat and shuffling through? Yeah. Sometimes you need people. Oh, you think you're the greatest? I met Ty Flies before too. Chill dude, pretty cool. Ty Flies, I met him before too. And just everybody has their thing. And, and it's great to take pride in what you do and study the stuff and everything. I'm actually I kind of want this one fly book and I don't have it anymore because I only have a few. Most of them are from when I was younger. I had like a few, just like what's this basic pattern? Or I wanted to learn like certain little skill, or they're like type of thing where they're like, hey, learn this skill. Like okay, or hey, this is good. If you forget this, you have this to kind of revert back to get your basic things. Or you want, or there's like these 3 patterns. You can always use this, and you don't have to use a lot of materials to make it. Type stuff is in there, and like you always catch something. Usually, we'll always catch something with it, or you can always use this fly anywhere, and it's good to have that. But sometimes, little stuff. Jig with the cat ears. Hey, I don't know. I know. I'm probably sure you've seen those. Someone made the Christmas tree. Have you seen that one? They made a Christmas tree with the what do you call it? Like elk hair deer. They made the Christmas tree out of it, and like dyed deer hair, green deer hair. They made a Christmas tree and like glued all the things, like glued the ornaments in and everything, and tie and with all like almost all fly tying materials, and it's like on a hook and everything. Yeah. Was it recently, or is it like this was like a while ago when that happened? Yeah, there's like one where like there's a couple patterns I see. Like some people, I've thought of doing that too before. I was like, it would be fun for like, it'd be a fun thing, for like even like all of us, like YouTube folks, Fisher Tires or whatever. Be like, hey, everybody, make a Christmas tree, tie a Christmas tree pattern, and see what everybody's Christmas tree pattern looks like. It'd just be, and I mean, of course it's gonna look. It's all they're gonna look. Everybody's gonna try to make it look like a Christmas tree. They're all gonna look slightly different, but it'd be fun to just be like, like I did the one year, and everybody made the Grinch pattern, and that's why I displayed it again. And I had displayed it the first time before all the shenanigans, but the third time. But You know, it's a Grinch pattern. It's like it's got that, you know, the colors from that cartoon. I think that's kind of fun to do. Actually, this year I thought that was going to happen again. I thought they were going to come up with. I thought someone was going to come up with something, you know, like a different theme, and like, hey, you have to. So this cartoon that's from that, you gotta find the colors, you know, use those colors and make something, you know, use those colors and make a ruler of some kind, or make a Christmas tree, or make it look like something from the that represents the holidays. I think I think somebody even made like I want to say a Christmas ball or something, almost like the Christmas ornament itself, like the ball, those little, you know, the bulbs that hang on the tree. I think someone else made something similar to that, but they did, you know, using some deer hair and doing something and gluing something else to make. Like I seen something else like that too. I think it was like a whole scene, and I saw it and it was in the store, and I wanted it so bad. Hey, fat cat. Yeah, I think if you might be able to, because I think I saw some of that on Reddit, but it might be elsewhere now by now because that was a while ago. So, oh, look at that right there. That one solitary. Oops, that one solitary. Boop. One solitary piece of feather sticking right there. Santa Diego. Hey, red. Hey, actually, that'll work. It's got red. It's gonna, you know, if it's a Santa, like, you know, Santa's hat's got red and white on it. Huh? Then like the buttons, so you can like make something that's like an accent with the buttons. What else? What else? Black. He has black boots. So and then he has a gold buckle, right? That's a gold buckle. So there you go. You got your like three colors, like yeah, black, gold, like four colors. You got like four different colors. Well, white doesn't. The white they say that, but you know what I mean. It's like four different colors schemes right there. That would be kind of cool. Black, well, gold. Yeah, that'd be cool. Gold. Yeah, this thing is crazy. Yeah, when I was like, I want the green. I want the green bar boot. The olive green. It's green, but it's olive green. Luca, do you use one of these? Do you use these things? Do you use this? Have you tried this stuff? Have you tried these before? I just wrote on it so I don't get it mixed up because I have another light that looks just like it. Yeah, I'm chilling before I have to feed the cat. I know. I know. I'm just up. Y'all, for y'all, the sun is rising, and for me, it's not. It's like I'm hours away, hours and away. It's like it's almost 2 o'clock, so it's like hours away from me. It's I'm if I was out hanging out, I would just be driving home. If I was still being a young whippersnapper, a real young whippersnapper out there, I'd be just driving home right now. Yeah, I mean, this is the UV light, but I don't know. This one's just not. It's okay. I don't know if it's strong enough. I don't know. This rubber, the species is kind of flimsy. Yeah. It's like I should have probably sprung for the one that cost a couple more dollars, maybe. I don't know. But I'm experimenting still. Technically, I'm still experimenting with it and getting used to it. And I'm like, well, it works, but I'm noticing that certain glues don't work like I think they do. It's about to go dark in here. It's about to be pitch black in here. Almost. I'll try it. Nobody come get me. Nobody come get me. See, now you can't see nothing. You can just hear me. I want to find it. Yeah, we in the dark, y'all. It looks cool though. You can see. There's like, see, that's the thing though. You got the UV, you can see all the little pieces of fur and hair from that I cut. And you can see where I fixed the glue on this device. I actually put what do you call it? Flex seal on this, on the actual vise. You can see the spots where I put it because of the light. To keep it from like taking the coating off, I put it to keep the coating from coming off of my vise until I decide to upgrade. Oh, of course there's these. Yeah, these are pretty dope. these I use these for salmon. These ones are dope. And steelhead, this one's. I always forget. Every time I buy them, I forget that these ones glow. And they work really good in the morning. When you first on the river, they work really good in the morning. And then when it's not morning, they're like pearl pink looking, like a dull pearl pink, and they seem to like it. So, but in the morning they glow, so you can charge them with a light, or like when you can charge them with the flashlight, or if you're really in the bind, the headlights of your car. You took your headlights of your car, and then okay, we're gonna go vision. It doesn't last very long, but it's just long enough. See, like the light's off now. They're still glowing, but you see they start to fade a little bit. You can see it's a little faded on that side. It's starting to. You can see like where the spot where it's fading. They're pretty neat. I only used a few of those ones. I don't want to get a couple more. I want to get a couple more. I want to get a couple more of those. But it is pretty cool. Here, you can look at this. Here, you want to see something though? It's cool because since the lights it's all dark in here. These are the regular jig heads, and they shine in like that. That's a regular jig head. It's shining pretty good. Like that's barely. I still have the light on, but you can still see. Gives you kind of a what the paint, what the paint actually is doing on those things. And then these are the ones. This one, I dipped myself. It doesn't glow, but you can see as the light You can kind of see they actually came out actually all right. They look not like that when you look at them in regular sunlight. They look a little more dull, but they're actually pretty dang bright. When I put this UV on it, I was like, oh wow, they're really bright in comparison. And this is and that's like I use for rockfish. This one, big old huge jig, and I dipped this one for rockfish and lingcod. I have a couple other ones. I gotta dig them out, but I dipped that one specifically, just lazily one day. I'm like, I'm just gonna dip it, dip this jig. Let's see here. Yeah, I dipped that one. Here you can. I think I showed it before. Look, you can see the cap on the hood. It's just like it's like kind of it's orange. You can see the bumps. I didn't really care about it being perfect. I didn't care about it coming out perfect. It was, it's got little bumps and ripples in it. But I was like, you know what? And then I debarbed it because there's salmon in that area, and I was like, I'll debarb it just in case. The luck of whatever I might hook one randomly. You never know. It does happen. Curly tails do catch salmon. Curly tails will catch salmon in saltwater. They will catch salmon. Little curly tail grubs. You wouldn't think they would, but curly tail grubs will actually catch salmon in saltwater. I don't know what's the ratio on it, but it does happen. I think they don't really care for the most part. I think, like I said, I think it's just the action of it, like of certain lures and the color a certain way, maybe a little bit, depending on what they're eating, and then the action. So, like today, the action. I think it's just like certain action. So, like, okay, they're biting the worms, and okay, but the worm crawls around and moves, goes like this, and then it's the action. So then you switch to something else, but it's moving. So it's like they just want that action of that, it moving a certain way. But if it doesn't move that certain way, they're not as interested. That's what I think. And then other time, that same other way you fish, like it's like super productive for some reason. You're like, wow, this is like catching everything. Like, this is like when you fish for crappie, like throw it, if you use a bobber, you throw it out and you kind of bump, 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 real quick, boop, 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 and you stop. And you just barely want that bobber to kind of move, like, you just want it to move a little bit, almost like it's in place, and then wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. oh, there he goes. It's like, but it's like that fish wants that specific thing, and then if you throw it out sometimes, and you don't do that, and you expect they're just gonna grab it. If they're not in a certain mood, they're not gonna just grab it. They're just gonna look at it and investigate it, and then go away. I fished there's a lake here. I'm actually that'll be a lake. That'll be a lake I'll fish too. That'll be fun to fish. Gotta wait though. That's another one. I won't be able to fish that till June, I think, because I don't think it opens till June. But it's got some crappie and it's got some cutthroat in there, and it's got largemouth in there and catfish in there. That'll be fun to fish, and I can almost fly fish in that one too. So that would be kind of cool. But that lake's like that. The fish kind of the fishing's a little different because it flows into that lake that I was fishing too. It runs into that lake, but it's miles and miles and miles away, but it's part of it, and it like it has a stream that runs through that, and it dumps into another river thing, and then it dumps into that lake. Like so, it's like that's like I don't know, 10, 15 miles. I mean, that's probably like 15 miles, 15 miles, 20 miles away, but probably 20 miles away or more. They kind of are about the movement. That's what I noticed. The movement. That thing I made, they like that thing. That thing else, or the thing that I was telling you about that I showed, they like that thing. The thing made of fabric, they like that thing. This thing, they like that stuff because that little soft movement